evening, everyone. Hello. It's been a minute. Hope everyone is well. My name is Jason, aka Woo Woo J Train, and this will be my final Dinger stream of the year, which is kind of surreal because I feel like I've been drafting since November, but it doesn't feel like that much time has passed. It's kind of crazy, actually. Um, just been trying to knock out these last few drafts in the last couple days. I mean, opening day is on Thursday. It's like Christmas for me. I always take the day off and I just sit around and I just watch as many games as I possibly can. I've got a tradition where I just make like the most obscenely large plate of nachos that anyone's ever seen, just an unnecessary amount that one human being should not eat by themselves. But it's become kind of a thing for me. So I'll be doing that. Be doing like ballpark food for dinner with the wife. So very much looking forward to Thursday. Not very much looking forward to Friday because baseball doesn't schedule games the day after opening day, which is fun. Like I get it. They want to have a spot for rainouts, but also it's like kind of stupid. So, but Thursday is going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully the weather cooperates. But yeah, we're gonna knock out the last few dinger drafts. We're gonna try to get this contest full. I have 7 more dingers to do, and I've never maxed a contest before, so this will be a new thing for me. So while we're talking, let me share my screen and we'll show you the exposures. So this is where I'm at right now. 143 teams. I've drafted 90 total pitchers, 80 total infielders, 77 total outfielders. And yeah, I mean, guys that I've been talking about for what feels like months. Gavin Williams, Josh Lowe, Mike Trout at 28%. That feels fun. Like it's gonna be a sweat all year. Just waiting and hoping that Mike Trout can stay healthy. Carlos Correa feels like the smash, kind of late. Fernando Tatis, like I just can't stop drafting from the 8 through 10 spot. That's still happening, and that's fine. I'm not complaining at all because it's whatever, right? It's RNG, but we are. I'm gonna call my shot. I'm gonna get the 9 hole tonight for sure in a draft like that. That's happening. I can feel it in my bones. But a lot of Tatis. He's been my guy. I'm just kind of leaning on in the first round. I've been pushing him up a little bit over Kyle Tucker here and there too. But Yelich and Ward kind of rounding out. I'm very condensed in the outfield because I've got Nootbaar here at 23% too. So exposures on pitchers have fallen. So I had Fought near 30%. I had Gavin at 33. I had Brandon Woodruff near 30%. Trying to flatten a little bit there. Strider at 16.8. It feels pretty good. I'd like to have a little bit more. Shane McClanahan, rip. That's unfortunate. But it sounds like he's not like totally dead. So that's good. It's just, got a nerve issue in his triceps, which is like not great news, but his arm didn't explode. So that's good. We're happy about that. Garrett Crochet at P4, 15.4%. I've been really gravitating towards him early. So that's kind of what we're looking at. I mean, I feel like the pitcher exposures are pretty even-ish across the board. Grayson Rodriguez is down to 11% with his injury news. He is going to throw a bullpen session soon, which is pretty awesome. Like that's super encouraging. But I feel like I've probably drafted enough Grayson. I might get another share or two if he's like in the last round. So yeah, this is where we're at for now. So I am gonna take a peek real quick. Do not please. If you want to draft with me, don't jump into a lobby just yet. Let me take a peek and see what we got going on here. Oh, this is actually perfect. So I just filled one. So I will hop in another lobby and you all who are available can draft with me. So let me share this guy. I'm going to do 2 drafts at the same time because the last thing that I wanted to do was have you guys show up to hang out and draft with me and then hop into a full room. So I will be doing uh, a separate draft on another tab here. So, and that other one, I got the 5 holes. So we'll see what happens in the one that I'm going to stream with you guys. Let me get this one pulled up and then I'm going to look at the chat. 6 hole actually in the other one, which I don't know. The 5 and 6 seems pretty horrible, but let's check in on the chat. Hello, how are you? Bjorn Masterson. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I mean, you've been coming out here since basically minute 1. And I always love chopping it up with you on Twitter. So appreciate the support. Scott, thank you so much. That means a lot. I'm glad you were able to tune in and have fun. That's the whole point of this is like, I just want people to come in and just like have a good time. Let's draft. Let's talk baseball. Let's just have fun with this. Turn me up with me on the 111 and Tatis. Nothing says baseball or nothing says America like baseball and nachos. Absolutely. All right. Oh my God. Did I call it, guys? Am I in hell? In true streaming fashion for me this year. I'm at the very end here. So if you've tuned into me this year, you've pretty much exclusively seen me draft from like the 9 hole on. I think when I streamed with Billy, when I had him on, we were at the turn. Last time I streamed was with Nez, and I believe we had the 2 hole, so that was fun. I just need to like do every stream with Nez so I don't get these dog ass picks at the back end. But we'll see what happens at the turn. Oops, I'm on the clock on my other draft. I autoed Ellie. That's fine. Let's see. SB thought I dodged most of the injuries until Jared Jones. Yeah, that one's brutal. I mean, he's not completely toast, but he's probably not going to be around for a minute. And Braden, what's up, man? Glad to see you. And I see you here in the draft. You got the 4 hole. We got Turbotron in here. I love drafting with Turbotron. Turn Me Up is in here too. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If any of you, I don't recognize other usernames in here. So if any of you are in here, just let me know. Duke maxed out. Looking forward to seeing how we handle the surging ADPs of pitching. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Duke. Even though you maxed out, I'd appreciate you hanging out and wanting to watch whatever clown show this is. Yeah. The late round pitcher nonsense is really rough right now. It doesn't, to me, like it doesn't feel as rough when you're drafting earlier in the season because there's just so much uncertainty that's like, yeah, I'll just click this dude. That sounds fun. Turn me up if you leave me Fernando Tatis. I'll love you forever. That's collusion. Don't do that if you want Fernando Tatis. But I'm really struggling with pitchers at the end of drafts now. So I've been forcing earlier pitcher builds by and large lately. And also just trying to flatten out some exposures to some guys that I don't really have much of and stop clicking on the same guys over and over again. We'll see what old Vartle do. That's a fun name. Does here. I think, what should I do? He autoed Gunner. I think I'm going to do something. I don't have much Jackson Churio. So let's do a little Churio. And then let's work in, I want more Vlad than I have. Not that I don't have much. I feel like I have a good amount. Oops, I missed the button. Hold on. Where am I? Here we go. I feel like I have a decent chunk of Vlad, but I want more than I have right now. So go ahead and take him at the turn. My other draft, I'm doing an Ellie Vlad start, so that's interesting. I can show you guys this team when I'm done with it. We'll see how it ends up. But yeah, Vlad just feels like getting him in the second round, especially if you pair him with like an elite outfielder. It just feels so incredibly good. Turn me up with the stack, pushing up Merrill. I like it, man. One thing Turn Me Up is not afraid to do is push up guys a little bit for the sake of the stack. I mean, he's not reaching too far to put Jackson Merrill here, but kind of see his vision already. So that's interesting. Turbo with the Jordan Julio start, that feels really nice. I've gotten a couple of Jordan Tatis and Tatis Gunner starts this year, and it's just like, oh my god, those teams feel like they're really difficult to screw up. Truly. Rocket Sauce, what is up, man? Thank you for hopping in. Appreciate you stopping in as much as you do. Truly. Guys, this has been a really, really fun year for me. From a streaming perspective, I don't do it all too often, once or twice a week, because it's harder than you would think. At least I find it harder than I thought it would be. But I did this as a way to just kind of like, I don't know, have a different way of viewing baseball and chatting with people, and playing this game and just drafting with people is just so much fun. So it really means a lot to me that you guys take time out of your day where you could be doing literally anything else to come hang out here. So while you're here, if you can, like the video. If you have not subscribed to the channel already, I would appreciate that. I know that this is my last, dinger stream, but I might do one here and there when the 7-inning stretch contest launches. So if you're here and you're unfamiliar with the 7th inning stretch, it is the in-season best ball contest that launches in a few weeks. So they get a few weeks of the season under our belt. Then that 7th inning stretch launches. I have been significantly worse at the 7th inning stretch than I have been with the preseason contests. And I don't know why that is. I think I have a tendency to be like, yeah, this guy sucked so far, but he's going to stop sucking. And then that guy doesn't stop sucking. And so the continual suckage results in my teams also sucking. So Rocket Sauce is finally embracing, generational wealth. I'm happy to see that. He's trying to get more Trout in his portfolio. I don't know if you caught the very beginning of the stream, Rocket, but I am currently at 28% Mike Trout. And that feels good. I don't know that I'm going to end up at 30 because I just don't know that I have the volume left to do it. But it feels slightly insane and risky, but I made a decision this year. I just don't care about trying to predict injuries. I'm just going to take the guys that I think are the best baseball players and hope they happen to be around A, long enough to matter, and B, when it really matters. So Trout's looked great in spring. He's moving well. Like he looks mobile, which is good. Just need him to stay on the field, man. All right, I'm going to be up soon. I am off to a Churio Vlad start. This is a screened room, so outfield is probably going to go pretty quick. We will see what happens. Scott, what do you think of Nolan Jones going back to the Guardians? I hate it, actually. I am really, and I have quite a bit of Nolan Jones this year. Apparently Cleveland changed something in their stadium that I'm not gonna like eloquently describe, but basically there's a wind tunnel now that favors left-handed power, and if that's a thing, it may not be that big of a downgrade. Um, I feel like I have to take Austin Riley here. He's the correct pick. So let's do Riley, and let's stack him with Michael Harris. I don't have much Michael Harris. I'm not like a huge Michael Harris guy. But let's work him in a little bit. Sorry, my other screen popped up. I got lost for a second. Okay, so Harris. There we go. So we've got Austin Riley stacked with Michael Harris. I like that. That's fun. So Nolan Jones going to Cleveland. I don't think it's as much of a. It may not be as much of a park downgrade as it looks if last year was real, as far as like the wind helping left-handed power. So if that's the case, I feel fine about it. The Rockies are the Guardians are definitely a better offense. They're not like a ton better, but they're definitely a better offense than the Rockies. My biggest concern is I am worried that he's going to wind up platooning with like Jhonkensy Noel or something like that. And that would be very bad because he was going to play every day in Colorado. So if he finds himself in a platoon situation in Cleveland, especially once Kyle Manzardo comes back, that's just one less spot in the lineup. I am not going to be having much fun with my Nolan Jones shares if that winds up happening. So long-winded way to answer your question. I don't hate it, but I'm definitely not excited about that change. I'm not drafting him anymore. I have enough. We'll just have to see what happens. Trout, Yelich, career years. 2025 is the year of the old man. Well, yeah, I hope so. Trout's not that old, though. I think he's, 32? 31, 32? How old Yelich? I actually don't know. Rockets got 46% Christopher Sanchez. Got him way later than where he's been going. Yeah, that's he's one of those dudes that really got pushed up as time has gone on. So I've definitely watched that happen, and I don't really know that I'm in on him at his current price. I got some when he was a little bit cheaper, but I think I'm good. Have I chased Trout all the way up? Yeah, I have. Most of my Trout is roughly in like the that early range that you're talking about, the like 48, 60 or whatever. I think most of mine's in like the 40s, mid to late 40s. But I have chased him up the board because I still think like when you look at who he's around, and I'm sorry guys, I forgot to pull up the draft board, but he's going in a range of where are you, Mike Trout? He was here, 31. So he's going in this range of like it's him, Teoscar's ahead of him normally, Alonso, Devers, Jazz, Reynolds, Green, Butler, Happ. Like Reynolds and Happ are floor guys. They don't really have much ceiling week to week. Riley Green is kind of like one of those breakout candidate type people that we want to see put together a full season. And then Lawrence Butler, like I've been referring to him here and there as like this year's Nolan Jones. I feel like his price is a little difficult to stomach, but I still have, I think 5 or 6%. I'm not totally fading Lawrence Butler. I just don't love it. So for me, Trout amongst all of, especially this group of 4 outfielders, if they're on the field at the same time, I want Trout every single time. That's kind of my position. I'm going to go ahead and take the fall on Adolis Garcia, and let's stack the Braves a little bit more. So let's do Adolis, and I don't really love Ozzy Albies at this price now. I liked him earlier in the season, the drafting season, but as time's gone on, I've been really backing off of him. But let's go ahead and stack some Braves here. So pull up the draft board, flip over to my other draft, and then check in on you guys. I doubt you can get Trout now unless you take in the mid 30s. Correct. Yeah, he's fallen every once in a while to like that late 30s to the 40 range, but it's super rare these days. He's getting pushed up into the early 30s, especially I think as more, I don't know, maybe casual people enter this contest over the next couple days, just trying to get a little bit of action for the season. I'd be willing to guess that the casual person is going to see the name Mike Trout and going to be like, what the hell is he doing going this late? So kind of glad that I got my my shares when I did. So I've only got, well, I'm doing two simultaneously right now. So I have only got 4 more after this, I think. Which again, kind of sad. Yeah, Duke. I know you were kind of looking at some like 8 or 9 pitcher builds here and there, which I've always, found interesting. Sorry guys, gotta make a pick on my other draft. I'm gonna put Strider on this team. All right. Let's see. Colton Cowser is one of these guys that I've not, like, I was drafting a ton of him and then I backed off, and like I feel good about where I'm at with him. I'm just not sure if I'm confident in it. So Duke has 68. I mean, look, Duke is leaning into a strategy, and I really appreciate that. I can't bring myself to do this, but I admire Duke being willing to do funky builds like this. So he's got 68 9-pitcher builds. I have 0. And he has 67 8-pitcher builds. I've got like 3. Maybe I've probably got more than 3. But I'm assuming you're really loading up on bats early, and then you're just taking all of the pitchers like later in the draft. I think, and I think Rocket's saying, it's seeing what Duke is doing has caused him to kind of embrace some weird strategies. I wouldn't be surprised if a really, really weird build took this tournament down this year, with pitching being pushed down so much. Like Duke just said it, his favorite starts are 0-4-4. You can make a pretty freaking awesome offense by starting with 8 bats in a row or 10 bats in a row if you want to. So I feel like with the cost of pitching being reduced this year versus last year, I think that's a lot more viable. About to be on the clock. I got a 0-3-3 build. Vlad Guerrero Jr., Austin Riley, Ozzy Albies is the infield, and then the outfield is Jackson Chourio, Michael Harris, and Adolis Garcia. Let's go ahead and double tap pitchers here. Actually, I'm a little worried this outfield might be a little thin, and y'all are crazy with the outfielders. So let's do Yamamoto, and let's do Soler. Let's get an ace. Let's get an outfielder that I like. I'm on the clock in my other draft. Luis Robert, sure. Let's do it. Again, I'll show you guys this other team. This is like, I kind of like this drafting 2 teams at the same time thing, which I never do, because I'm not thinking about the other team. I'm just kind of like glancing and clicking guys. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Turbo, didn't know what time it was. Saw a 12 hole to realize it's 5. Figured it was a stream draft, and you were correct. Yes. So 5 out by you. Pacific Time Turbo. Welcome in. Let's see what you got going on. A 134. Wait, no, that's me. Sorry. 224. Reagans, Lopez, Olsen Marte, Jordan, J Rod, Rosarina, Luis Robert. That's a fun team. Yeah, that's a good start, man. Freddie, I have not done my solo shot yet. I have never done a solo shot before. I think I am going to do one this year. I refuse to do it on like a stream draft. I'm not trying to hop into a solo shot single entry thing with you all in here. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. So I'll probably try to knock that out tomorrow, or there's no way I can do it on Thursday, right? Probably not. I'll have to do it tomorrow. What is today? Tuesday? Is today Tuesday? Yeah, it is. Okay. But yes, I will be doing a solo shot this year. I've fiddled around with doing a frozen roper too. I will see how that contest fills. But it's like halfway full right now, so it might be a nice contest to chase some overlay. I just noticed my guy Brad is in this other draft with me, so I'm gonna have to message him and give him some crap for like drafting and just not like hanging out with us. Like, we're too good. He's too good for us. He's probably busy. I love Brad. If you didn't see my stream with Brad, BRDMC3 is his username here. We did that on a Saturday. I want to say like 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. That was a ton of fun. I love that dude. He's so much fun. I need to make my pick in this other draft real quick, and then I'll check on your message, Freddie. I saw it pop out of the corner of my peripheral. Taylor Ward, come on down. I really like how this other team is shaking out. I like this one too, actually. I think it's off to a good start. Freddie, been pivoting to Underdog for best ball after drafting NFBC all year. Trout in the 30s has me shocked. His ADP over there is 110. Also, not drafting closers has you shook. Yeah, the Trout going much later in like roto formats seems to make sense, because I think a guy, if you have one NFBC team, it's hard to stomach the risk of injury, even if that guy is awesome. So I totally get that. Underdog is just a completely different game. If you're only doing like 10 or 20 drafts or something, like, maybe it makes sense to kind of, you got to do one or the other, right? I think if you're only doing like 10 or 20 drafts, you need to either completely avoid the quote injury prone guys, or just lean 100% into it and be like, F it, I'm going to have 80% Trout. What happens, happens. Doing volume like this, I feel comfortable with, 28 to 30% of my teams having Trout, because it's just, if he's there when it matters, that's all I care about. That's all I care about. I want to make a final. I have yet to make a final here on Underdog. I made one on DraftKings. In football, hilariously. I'm so bad at football too. Good Lord. All right. I've got 2 picks coming up back to back here. I really like how this team is shaking out. I think Vardel's going to auto Roki unless he's got, yeah. Let's see. I feel like the outfield cliff has hit. Let's do Glass now, Blade. I really like to have 5 outfielders by the time I get to round 10, if I can. Other team, we got Strider. You know what? F it. Let's do DeGrom. How about that? Spencer Strider and Jacob DeGrom on the same team. That sounds nice and fun. Again, I'll show you guys that other team when we're done, if you care. Let's see. Turbo. He's probably shy after Davis roasted his Nolan Jones pick. Yeah, well, I don't know if Davis knows about the wind tunnel, guys. Brad's the polar opposite of Duke. Yeah, it's so funny watching, watching two guys who, I mean, Brad is one of the best dailies players on the platform in baseball. Duke had one of the highest advance rates in best ball last year. Like they're both, they both clearly know baseball. So it's just really interesting to watch two guys have completely different strategies. Coolers, you ended up pretty spread out exposures after you maxed. 19% is the highest owned. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Did you, and you don't have to answer this question, Coolers, but when you look at your exposures, did you draft like 110 different pitchers and like 100 different infielders and 100 different outfielders, or are you kind of condensed in like the high teens on a bunch of different guys? I'd be interested to see that. You prefer that in a contest that is such high variance at the end? Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely is a viable strategy. Yeah, talking about the Trout thing in rotisserie of the NFBC. You've got limited roster spots over there, whereas over here it's just you got 6 or 7 outfielders and you just use the 3 best scorers every week. It's a completely different ball game, no pun intended. How are your exposures on Jacob Wilson, Christian Campbell, and Shaw? Jacob Wilson is 0. Christian Campbell is, I'll pull him up in a second. I want to say 6% on Campbell, and Shaw I think I've drafted twice. So that's where I'm at. Actually, no. I don't know. I've only been taking Shaw lately because Nez really likes Shaw, and so I'm just like, okay, whatever, fine, I'll click him. I have drafted Christian Campbell a few times actually after he was confirmed to make the opening day roster, but he's not a guy I'm like clamoring to chase up the board. I'm not really worried about him killing me, but we'll see. Bladay's the tier break in terms of substantial drop off. I agree 100%. You do enough of these, and outfield after JJ Bleday gets really, really gross. And I don't love JJ Bleday, but I definitely like him more than, George Springer goes ahead of him, which is hilarious because I think he's dust. But Kerry Carpenter, I'm worried about platoon risk there. Jung Ho Lee, his back is weird. Cedric Mullins, platoon risk. Lourdes Gurriel isn't very good. Josh Lowe is there, though. I really like him. Let's see. I got to make a pick in this other draft. Sure. Jordan Westberg. All right, great. And coming up on a pick here. So we just saw, I was just talking about this group of outfielders. I have 0, literal 0, Lourdes Gurriel. Whatever. He doesn't do anything for me. Kerry Carpenter, I hope he gets to play every day. If he does get to play every day, I'm worried though, because I think I've only got like 7 or 8%, and I definitely want more. Let's see. Freddie needs 35 more to max, and you also want to get more frozen roast, but you're running out of time. Freddie, all you got to do is just stay up all night, into the wee hours of the morning. It's not that hard, right? Good luck, though. That's a lot. Okay. I got to make a couple picks here real quick. Who's on this team? Yamamoto Glass now. We've got an Atlanta thing. Let's do, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to finish off outfield with Josh Lowe. I'm just going to shut down the position. And then I feel like the infield is good enough. So let's bolster the pitching staff. I am going to go with, I have a lot of Joe Ryan. I don't know if I want to click that name yet again. Let's do Justin Steele. Try to even out exposures a little bit and get a little bit more Steele. He struggled in his first start over there in Tokyo, but that just means he got one of his few bad starts out of the way. So it's just all, mostly good starts from here. FK answered my question. Looks like it took about 80 pitchers, so half of them in the 8 to 16 type exposure range. I like that. Just spreading it out and seeing what happens. Freddie's got 4 more NFBC drafts, 2 of which are 50 rounds. Oh man, yeah, you definitely. Rocket is suggesting a substance to help you get over the hump there that you could utilize. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but it's drafting season, so we got to do what we got to do, right? I'm gonna take Jake Burger, I guess, on this other team. Sure, sounds fun. And Meth, this is turning into Breaking Bad. Perfect. Love that show. Watched it 13 times. That's not an exaggeration. Freddie needs 3 more to fill a solo shot. So if you guys have not done your solo shot yet, and you want to knock that out or have the lobby maybe fill a little quicker, now might be your chance. I'm not doing it. I'm not drafting a solo shot on stream. That's insane. I think, who was it? I think Pete did it, right? Pete Overzet had the Badge Bros on, and they did a solo shot on stream. That was interesting. What are your thoughts on the surging Clay Holmes ADP, who was going in the 140s by the time I finished? Yeah, I'm just accepting that I missed the Clay Holmes thing, and I'm gonna hope that he's not Michael King from last year, right? I also I'm not too worried about fading a pitcher who might happen to be a really solid value. Like Clay Holmes is not going to go out there and do like Garrett Crochet stuff, right? But he looks really, really good. I think that I'm just taking my L. I missed the boat on him. And I really don't want to chase him up the board. I'm just saying I'm just going to go ahead and fade this guy, even though it doesn't feel comfortable, and then we're gonna see what happens. So, any love to Rocker now that he's made the rotation and is low owned overall? I have concerns about him staying in the rotation for the entirety of the contest, because eventually John Gray is going to come back from his broken wrist. Not for a while, obviously, but he will come back. And I think Cody Bradford is probably also going to come back at some point. Kumar's still really young. What was last year, I think, was his first year back from Tommy John or something. I don't know how many innings they want him to throw. He hasn't looked good in spring, except for today. He was freaking awesome. Like the last few innings, I feel like he's been insane. So I'm probably not gonna chase him up the board. I'm just gonna leave him be and see what happens. 2 pitchers that I would love to draft right here: George Kirby and Shane McClanahan, but we can't. And this is what I'm talking about with Clay Holmes. Like, he's in the 150 range, which is pretty wild. Max Muncy is still entirely too cheap. I don't care that I don't have any Dodgers. That really does not matter to me when it comes to him. So we're gonna go ahead and take him, and let's do Mackenzie Gore. I don't have hardly any Mackenzie Gore, so let's get him. Let's get some exposure to him. Where's the thing? Oh my goodness gracious! There we go. Clicking is hard. Rocket prefers lighter over Rocker. I mean, to Freddie's point, Kumar Rocker was not being drafted all that often. And so going with lighter can be contrarian, but you're being contrarian against a very small portion of the field. Like, it feels like being contrarian just for the sake of being contrarian. I'm not by any means saying that Jack Leiter is like a bad pick, but if it's just like everybody's picking Rocker, so I'm going to pick Leiter. I feel like it's overthinking it just a little bit. I've been gravitating more, especially late, to guys like Nestor Cortez or Merrill Kelly, like these dudes who are just going to throw 160 innings. And, they may not be 160 incredible innings, but they'll be 160 20th round worthy innings. That's been kind of my MO. So I'm going to check in on the chat. I'm glad you guys are chopping it up with each other in here. I love that. Rocket, think it's definitely profitable. Yeah. Definitely playing the diminishing returns of the bat, doing like a hyper fragile philosophy. Yeah, look, like your builds where you're doing these 8 and 9 pitcher builds are super interesting. Excuse me. Freddie's Festa, Kyle Harrison, DJ hurt bad. Yeah. Festa languishing in the minors, so is Harrison. And is DJ hurt? I think he is, isn't he? Is his elbow dead? Diagnosed with UCL sprain. Yeah, he's gonna be gone for a while. He's not totally toast, but oh god, guys, I autoed Jung-Hoo Lee on my other team. Oh, it's all over. That's not good. I don't like it. Let me star a couple guys so that didn't happen again. Sorry, give me a second. Gotta focus. There we go. Okay. Freddie, I actually don't mind Bassett either. Like, I don't have much of him, but every time I see him there, I'm like, maybe. And then I'm like, he's boring. But isn't that kind of the point? Like, he's just gonna go out there and throw 180 innings. Yeah, I think there's definitely worse picks than Chris Bassett. Mitchell chiming in for the 1 slot. Thanks for all the great streams this offseason. Mitchell, thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you for joining. Hope you're having fun in this draft. Let's see, where are you at? MP27, that you? Yeah, I'll take a look at your team when it's all said and done here. I gotta toggle over to my other draft real quick. I need to take Carlos Rodon. I must do it. I don't have to, but I'm going to. I can't believe I auto Jung-Hoo Lee. That's pain. Ugh. Did I freeze? Okay. Oh, I kind of did. That was interesting. All right. Let's do Rhys Hoskins to stack with Churio. Yes. Let's do it. So Rhys Hoskins, I got a 4-5-6 build. I'm gonna do Nick Lodolo. Lodolo's looked pretty good, especially his last time out. So I'm trying to get a little bit more Nick Lodolo on my teams here. So let's recap the team real fast. I'm drafting out of the 12 hole. We've got a 5-5-6 build. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, Justin Steele, Mackenzie Gore, and Nick Lodolo as the pitching staff. The infielders, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Austin Riley, Ozzie Albies, Max Muncy, Rhys Hoskins. And then the outfielders, Jackson Churio, Michael Harris, Adolis Garcia, Jorge Soler, JJ Bleday, and Josh Lowe. So this will be a something 6 build, probably 7-7-6. Drafting another outfielder on this team would be a horrendous mistake because I've invested enough draft capital in outfield. So if this outfield doesn't make it, it just doesn't make it, and this team's dead. That's fine. I can live with that. Autoing Jung-Hoo Lee sucks. At least he didn't time out an auto Chris Bubich at pick 103 frozen rope. Oh no, please tell me it didn't happen to you. Because that's brutal if you starred a guy and missed and took a guy that early. Duke wishes he had more Bassett. Yeah, I definitely think there's worse picks. Where's he going right now? 204. I mean, shoot, I might just smash him with these last couple drafts because, I mean, he's got to be one of the more reliable innings eaters late, right? Saris loves Bubich. Yeah. He's on the Royals, right? Yeah. So here's Chris Bubich. I mean, these 20th round pitchers, you're throwing darts, hoping you get one guy right at least. I'm gonna take Brendan Fott on this other team. If I could click the button. There we go. Where did Fott go in our draft? Let's look. Has he gone yet? Oh, 167. Okay. Yeah, right along with ADP. Brandon Fott's a guy that I have quite a bit of. I was starting to sweat when it wasn't looking 100% certain that he, I didn't even know that there was a possibility that he wouldn't crack the rotation in Arizona. Truth be told, I completely forgot that Eduardo Rodriguez existed. Completely forgot he was even a human being that was on this earth. So when I was apprised of that information or reminded of that information, I started to do the math with, Corbin Burns and Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly and Eduardo Rodriguez. And I'm like, there's only one more name that we can say for this rotation. So thankfully, Brandon Fott is going to be in the rotation. The only other competition he's got is Ryan Nelson now because Jordan Montgomery is having Tommy John surgery, which is unfortunate for him. So I feel much better about my Brandon Fott bags. We gotta talk about Evan Carter. I have a couple picks I need to make, and then I can cry about Evan Carter. Let's do Xander. All right, which one of you took him? Turbo, you are the worst. Ugh. I love you, dude, but you're terrible, and I don't ever want to draft with you ever again. Let's do. You really spit in my cereal, Turbo, with that pick. F it. We're gonna play the hits. We're gonna go with Josh Young. Been drafting him all year. Why stop now? What does this other team need? 446. Taj Bradley. Fun. Yeah, I was definitely gonna grab Carlos Correa there, but Correa and Campbell go back to back. I don't love Xander Bogaerts. But it just feels like a safe, floor kind of guy. I mean, I've got guys who are, they're going to score 70 points in a week or they're going to score 0. Max Muncy and Reese Hoskins are like the two guys who I have in my mind. So it's like, okay, Xander Bogaerts, go out there and just give me like 40 points or whatever. Spike every once in a blue moon. It's kind of my thought process. Turbotron saying, let me cook. No, get out of the kitchen. Go away. Dang it. You ruined my plan. So I've got a 5-7-6 build, so I'm going to need 2 more pitchers to round out this staff, which is concerning because I don't really know who to pick here. I think I've got it. Boy, that Ryan Weathers thing sure didn't last long. Feel like he was getting steam for like 10 days and then poof, forearm strain. Just all right, cool, great, lovely. Morel hit leadoff in the last Rays spring training game. That's interesting. Okay, all right. I've drafted Jonathan Aranda a couple times to stack with Rays. That's probably not smart. He's listed as a guy who's probably going to platoon on roster resource. Probably should have just gone with like Morel or something. Dale, what's up? Got here late, but you're here, and that's cool. Streams are fun. It's always fun, especially when you guys come out. We just, hang out, draft, and talk baseball, laugh at my misfortune. Speaking about laughing at misfortune, this Evan Carter thing, like, this dude is starting the season in the minors. Like, that's brutal. Like, how do you not beat out Leody Taveras? Like, man. And maybe I'm just bad for drafting him all season. Like, in the bullpen, I've got 20%, and then the dinger, I've got 12%. So it's not like it's not a huge exposure, but it's definitely too much to have on a guy who's going to start the year in the minors. That's wild. I can't believe that. Who do y'all think has been the biggest riser in ADP from the early drafts till now? Sanchez and Ray are very good answers. Sanchez is 138. Yeah, he's the correct answer. Oh, was Ray going in the 20th ever? Because Christopher Sanchez was going in the 20th to start. I do remember that. So I think it might be Sanchez. Pavetta's at 151. So he's not quite gotten as high as Ray and Sanchez. Holmes is at 154 now, and he was a 20th rounder. So yeah, I think in terms of number of spots, I think it's actually Robbie Ray. If he was a 20th round, I actually don't think he was. It's either him or Sanchez. I'm going to go with Sanchez. That's my final answer. I could be wrong. It doesn't matter. All right, guys, I need 2 pitchers to round out this staff. I think I autoed on my other team. Let's see what happened here. Did I? Yeah, I autoed Dalton Varsho. Oh, this team is a train wreck now. This is a rake paying experience on the other tab. Let's try the Jose Soriano thing. I've taken him a few times lately. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the security of Merrill Kelly. Just need a little bit of inning certainty here, I feel like. So we're just going to take Kelly and hope it works out. So that's the team. The other team is in complete and total shambles with the auto of Jung-Ho Lee and Dalton Varsho. That is my first Dalton Varsho. Wait, nope. I think it's my second Dalton Varsho share. I'm sure that Brad is giving me so much crap in Discord right now if he's in there at this ridiculous team I've drafted on this other screen. It's really, really hard to, like, I don't do 2 drafts at the same time ever. It's hard enough to do 1 while streaming, but trying to do 2 at the same time is just, it's death. It's just not a pleasant experience. But you know what? We're having fun, right? We're gritting our teeth and we're having a good time. If you're familiar with the comedian Dusty Slay, we're having a good time. This is it. Just wave to the crowd. We're having a good time. There you go. Dan, dude, you missed it. I gave away all the secret plays. I drafted Dalton Varsho on my other team that I'm drafting simultaneously because I timed out. Isn't that such a great pick? Thank you for hopping in, Dan. Let's see. Got any rocker? Yes. I have like 3 shares, maybe. I'll pull it up in a minute. We're wrapping up this draft on the main screen. You know what's funny? This other draft I'm doing started before the one that we just finished, and it's in the 17th round, and we are done. Like, that's comical to me. You guys got it done. Let's go to completed. And is this it? Yep. All right, let's recap. I think I like this team quite a bit. Drafting out of the 12 hole, 776 build. Yamamoto, Glasnow, Steele, Gorladolo, Soriano, and Merrill Kelly is the pitching staff. Infield, Vlad, Austin Riley, Ozzie Albies, Max Muncy, Reese Hoskins, Xander Bogaerts, Josh Young. And then the outfield is Churio, Michael Harris, Adolis Garcia, Jorge Soler, JJ Bleday, and Josh Lowe. I think this team's okay. I don't love it. One of these infielders probably should have been a different dude. Like I probably should have just said no to Josh Young and gone down to like Colt Keith or something and did something a little bit more fun. I don't mind this team. I don't particularly love it. Let's look at Turbotrons. 776 from the 9. Reagan's Lopez Peralta, Robbie Ray, Clay Holmes, Zach Eflin, Chris Bubich. Infield, Matt Olson, Ketel Marte, Josh Naylor, Kyle Raleigh. Big Dumper getting a $100 million contract today. Good for him. Ryan McMahon did stupid Carlos Correa. Freaking Turbotron. Yainer Diaz. And then the outfield, Jordan Alvarez, Julio Rodriguez, Randy Rosarina, Luis Robert, Byron Buxton, and Jordan Beck. I like your team more than I like mine. I think they're kind of comparable though. Like I think they're at least in the same ballpark, no pun intended. We got the guy in the one-on-one here. What was his name? I'm so sorry. It was Mitchell. That's right, Mitchell. Hello, sir. I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, we'll take a look at your team. You're in the one spot, 767. Pitching staff of Cease, Strider, Bybee, Wu, Lizardo, Olson, and Andrew Painter. Okay. Infield, Harper, Bichette, Altuve, Paredes, Tovar, Bohm. And the outfield, Otani, Santander, Doyle, Conforto, Pajes, Kepler, and Addison Barger. Barger? I don't know if I've seen him drafted yet at 217. You got stacking going on here, man. I'm not gonna argue with how this team is built. I don't know. Oh, the 7th outfielder's fine because you got 3 really early guys and then kind of just coasted until the end. This is a got your guys type draft. I can respect that. And then the last one I'll look at is, oh no, we got Braden in here too. Let's start with him at the 4, 776. King, DeGrom, Alcantara. I'm on the clock on my other draft. Hold on a second. Tanner Hawk. Sure. Cool. Okay. King, DeGrom, Alcantara, Pivetta, Pepio, Woodruff, Baz, Infield, Witt, O'Neill, Cruz, Chapman, Pasquantino, India, Perez, and Stott. You got stacks for days going on here, my friend. Ozuna, Acuna, Riley Green, Castellanos, Jung-Ho Lee, and Garrett Mitchell. It's a fun team, dude. And lastly, turn me up in the 10 hole, 677, Schwellenbach, Imanaga, Freed, Lugo, Arrighetti, and Gavin Williams. Infield, Alonso Machado, Bregman, Caminero, Vientos, Christian Campbell, Shea Langeliers. In the outfield, Tatis, Merrill, Mullins, Adele, Roman Anthony, Jesse Winker, and Jose Siri. Turn me up. Definitely a scroll down lover. And that's fun. I don't know how much the Winker and Siri things are going to pay off, but this is a fun team, man. Yeah, you did get a little silly, but that's okay. You can get silly, like especially if you're doing volume or whatever. Like you can do a couple little funky builds if you want to. So Turbo, fun draft as always. Yes. Thank you so much for helping to make it fun by being here. That goes for all of you. Turbo, Rocket, ASAP Tuna coming in here. Pretty sure ASAP Tuna had the highest advance rate last year of anyone who did 100 drafts or more. So he's definitely looking to repeat that. He posted a tweet today showing his exposures, and he's an Angels fan this year. So I like that. Good luck, Duke, SB. Guys, for real. This has been, like, last year was fun. You know, it felt like the first half of my streams last year was just like trying to figure out what the hell I was doing. Um, feel a lot more comfortable doing this these days. I really, really appreciate you guys, as always, coming out, taking time out of your day to come and draft and hang out. It's been a really, really fun season. I'm very much looking forward to opening day and actually getting into the real portion of the season. Thank you guys so much for coming out, hanging out, all the support. If you haven't yet, hopefully you enjoyed the experience. If you could like the video, I'd appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, that'd be awesome. I will not be doing any more dinger streams, but I might do some seventh inning stretch stuff when that contest launches. We'll see. We'll see when it launches and what I've got going on around then. But this has been a really fun off season. All thanks to you guys hanging out. Thank you so much, everybody. Good luck. Make sure to check out these sweating dingers, sweating-dingers.com. Our guy Tystonian Wings, Aiden, created this website. It's kind of like the BBM database thing. So you can check your teams. I don't know if it'll be daily. I'd have to ask him, but more regularly than we used to be able to. Total leaderboards and stuff like that. So make sure to check out sweating-dingers.com and support Aiden again on X, Twitter. His tag is TISTONIONWINGS, Tystonian Wings. Thank you again for coming out. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the baseball season. And not sure when we'll see you again, but we'll see you sometime. Take care, guys. Appreciate you. Bye now.